Welcome, welcome, my friends. I'm so glad you're here today. Oh my goodness, we have got a 2-for-1. Who loves a good 2-for-1 card? I love it. If we're going to make one, it's actually going to make everything to make two. So why not make two, right? Let me show you this really fun card. It's kind of a Z fold card. I was going to say, look how it stands, and it fell over. Yes, it's going to stand. It's going to fit in a medium-sized envelope. And yeah, the way we're going to create and design this, when you cut everything for the one, you're going to have everything to make a second. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to be using the Impressions a Bloom dies because, you know, they're gorgeous. Let me get myself moved over here and bring my friends on the screen.
I'm trying. Sorry, my mouse is being weird.
We'll get everyone on here.
I'm right clicking. Okay. I don't love this.
Oh, you want me to see if I can try it?
Yes.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah. No, every time I click, no matter, I have two different mouses and both of them just think I'm right clicking only.
Mouses?
My Mises.
Your Mises.
Your Mises in the woodsin?
Yeah.
In the woodsins.
In the woodies, in the woozes.
Connie, do you have on Mickey Mouse earrings?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
That's what that was my splurge when we were in Disney.
Okay. You usually wear like one pair of earrings.
I know, which is why when I was in Disney, I said, okay, I want
a new pair.
That's
love
okay.
to the mouse.
Yeah. And you are so funny because all your jewelry seems to look, I'm trying to plug something in.
Okay.
All of your jewelry tends to seem like it goes with everything, but I know that you only have a few pieces.
Nope. That's how I am. I have two necklaces. I have, I don't know, maybe 3 pairs of earrings and the 3 bracelets and the rings that I always wear. I mean, that's just how I am.
I know.
I love it that way.
I think that's fun. So I love that.
Lori Cavett said she got her goodie box yesterday with all kinds of ribbon and paper and ink. Sounds like someone took advantage of a 15% off in color.
Oh, that's it. That's a good sale. I keep going on there and grabbing more DSP and.
Oh, I know. I did the same thing.
Yeah, and I think we forget that things like the the painterly pears and some of those.
And for me, it was I think Charming Day. I think Charming Day is on there, and I love me some Charming Day paper. Can't get enough of that one. Yep.
That's awesome.
Linda says her husband's nickname in college was Mouse, and mine was Minnie. Oh,
I love that.
Glorious.
That is so cute. I love that.
Last chance ribbon. That's awesome.
Last chance ribbon. Oh, so I've had, listen, and you guys know, I don't always talk about these things, but my goodness, when Stampin' Up! Announced that they were going to be discontinuing the Stampin' Right markers, you guys went crazy. You are out there grabbing up those markers. So many of you have ordered, and thank you so much for that. And listen, I agree. There's nothing wrong with the markers. I love the markers, but we found that most people are using the blends nowadays, so the markers aren't selling as well. So yeah, you're going to want to buy those up while you can because they are definitely a while supplies last. But yeah, I'm telling you what.
Can I just say something to that?
Yeah.
I so appreciate that Stampin' Up! Watches. I think this is why they can stay debt-free is because they watch so closely what is selling, what isn't. And they're so careful about not having, like tons of overage and tons of stuff that goes to the clearance rack. And I would much rather have to wait on an item because they're out for a minute. And also then to have them hang on to tons of inventory that nobody's buying. I love that they're good stewards of the company.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
Lori did ask why they're discontinuing the markers. It's because so many people are using blends these days that
They're
people
just
just
not
aren't
selling.
purchasing the markers. So
Yeah,
get
it's
rid of
nothing
what's
about the
not selling.
quality or
No, they're
anything.
great.
And okay, and you guys know we usually chat for a little bit, waiting for everyone to get on. But I also want to make sure everyone got the information that the red rubber, our rubber cling stamps, not photopolymer, the red rubber stamps will be slowly discontinuing as well. That really comes back to resourcing rubber. We've got, I don't want to get into anything political, but you guys know there are those little tariffs out there, and I know that's going to be that probably was a big factor. I don't know, but I'm going to assume, because I know the rubber is sourced elsewhere, and
even if it's made in America, doesn't mean we get raw materials.
That's true. All the stamps, all the stamps are made here in the United States, in Kanab, but everything will be going to photopolymer, and also that's just where we see the trends these days.
I personally prefer photopolymer because I like to see where I'm stamping.
Preaching to the choir.
Before photopolymer and clear blocks, I was the worst stamper in the world because I just couldn't see where I was going. And so, I prefer being able to see exactly where my image is being put.
I was working with a new stamp set earlier this week, and I opened it and saw red rubber. I'm like, oh.
Well, and I also, to address that, the one thing that I really like that Stampin' Up! Is able to do there in Kanab, and they told us this several years ago, with the photopolymer, there's no waste. Because you can run it back through and run it back through and melt it back down. With the red rubber, if there's a bad run of stamps, they're just bad. They can't go back in and do anything with that. So the waste is reduced. Even if there might be a bad run, they can catch it, they can fix it, and and
if they really couldn't, I guess they just melt it again and do it again,
Linda, she says, I always hate putting those stickers on the clings.
Yes.
That was my frustration too, Linda. When I was putting this stamp set together, I was like, oh, I don't know why. I always miss that little cling by this much. And, especially when you're working with sentiments, you want to make sure you get them just right. And I did a video. In fact, it was last week's live. I don't know how many of you maybe watched that and said, she is about to stamp that so crooked. Yeah, well, I had to get that thing lined up on grid paper first because I didn't get the sticker on straight. And if I counted on that visual, it was going to be
wonky. Right. Real quick, I do have a question. Helen wants to know, will they make the blends available in all the colors like the markers are? Do we have an answer to that yet?
We don't, but let me tell you, if the colors that you don't see, typically the reason why you don't see them, and I just experienced this the other day. I was using Gorgeous Grape, and I'm like, I need to color in Gorgeous Grape. Oh, we don't have a blend in Gorgeous Grape. That's because Dark Highland Heather is gorgeous grape.
Makes sense.
So when you see some of those colors that you're like, oh, how come that's not there? Crushed Curry is another one. Dark Daffodil Delight, and actually now Darling Duckling will be that color. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why you're not seeing in all the colors. There is technically a color. You know what? Maybe I'll make that a Tuesday tip video, and I'll sit down and try to make a little chart for you so you know. I don't know if anyone's done that, but we should probably do that. But yes, there is a color. It's just typically one of the darks or lights from one of the other colors. So,
there is a question, and I think it might be one we might have to look into. It. So she says, what about distinctive stamps? Can they do those in photopolymer? Probably.
Yes, but no, they said they could. They said they could. Yeah. So that's not going to be an issue. The one thing that they found most people did with the Stampin' Right markers, and I promise we'll get to stamping, guys, I promise. But the one thing they would do with Stampin' Right markers is that direct to rubber technique where we would color on the cling. Well, you can't really do that on photopolymer. So knowing that the red rubber stamps are going away, that also kind of had to tie into the markers because that technique will not work. But here's the thing, with the photopolymer stamps, it's a little bit easier for us to, and you've seen me do it where I get just an edge. I want to get just the edge of this, or I just want this one word, or I have a long sentence and I need it to be on 2 lines. I can ink up just that part. Well, with photopolymer, you can do that. So all that to say that, yeah, that was another reason why the Stampin' Write markers were going to go away. But
yeah,
keep them. They're, you know, listen, I have had my Stampin' Write markers, my first set. Oh man, I had those forever. And yeah, they just keep going strong. So anyway, but yeah, if you wanted to get any, make sure you grab those before they're gone, because when they're gone, they're gone. So, okay, we better get to stamping. Sorry, we shared a lot there, but let's jump ourselves over here and get to creating. Okay. So as I said at the beginning, and thanks for letting us share that. That was information we really did want to get out there. So this is a 2-for-1 card. I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure which one we're making, but you can see they really are the same, except for one I stamped thank you and one I stamped let's celebrate, but they are exactly the same. So we're going to jump in here. And I'm going to show you here the supplies you're going to need. And I did tell you it does fit in a medium-sized envelope, so you know that. Remember, everything you're going to be doing, you're making 2 cards. Okay, so keep that in mind when you see all these pieces of cardstock. I have got Pool Party and Fresh Freesia. Woo! Sorry about that, guys. Fresh Freesia. Friends, this is 8 1/4. Make sure you caught that. 8 1/4 by 9 3/4. And that's for both pieces. Okay. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those in a minute. We have, I'm really calling them some scraps, but I've got what have I got? Petunia Pop. Sorry. I'm like, my brain's elsewhere. This is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That we're going to do all our die cutting for our flowers. I've got a piece of Old Olive, 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Remember, you can use your scraps. Okay. That's just what I'm kind of using here. And Secret Sea, my new favorite, 2 by 4 1/4. That will create everything for both cards. All right. Now we're going to get into some of our twofers. Okay. We have 2 pieces of basic white, and this is a 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. That's for the center panel. You have 4 pieces of basic white, and these are 2 1/2 by 4. This is what our flowers are going to go on. And then I chose 2 pieces of designer series paper, and these are 2 1/2 by 4 as well. I thought either side of this paper looks good. And so this would be from the Subtles collection. Okay, so we've gone over that. Oh, and you don't need to write it down. You guys know I always have your free download. So this one kind of looks a little bit different because remember, you're making 2 cards. So everything is right there. There's what the finished cards look like. Supply list. You can click right there so you can see the video. Look at that short and sweet supply list. Do you just love it? No, we did not use a lot to create this. So if you would like to order any of the supplies that I use, you can just follow that link and it'll take you to my online store. You can see everything I'm using there. Friends, I love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I hope that you will consider clicking that link for me. Okay, we're ready to jump in. We're going to start with those 8 1/4 by 9 3/4. You're going to want your paper trimmer for this one. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put the 8 1/4 up at the top, and we are going to score this at, let me get my cutting blade out of the way, 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. All right, 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Friends, can I tell you something? I woke up this morning with some horrendous dizzy spells, and looking down is just causing the room to spin. Whew, I don't know what's going on. So I'm glad Christina's here. So if I fall on the floor, she can come get me. All right, 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. All right, we are now going to put the 9 3/4 up at the top, and we're going to cut this at 4 1/4, and that's going to leave us 5 1/2. All right. Let me do the same thing here. 9 3/4 up at the top, cut it at 4 1/4, and that's going to leave me 5 1/2. We are done scoring. So I'm going to go ahead and move that. And this is where we're just going to take this one and put it over here, and this one's going to go over there. That's why we're making it a 2-for-1, okay? Because it was great that we could do one bit of scoring, one cut, and boom, we have the pieces that we need. So let's see. I think I'll do this one. Not that it matters. And like I said, you're going to be making 2. So the first thing, let's go ahead and focus on. I'm going to set this one over here for a minute. We're going to do a little embossing. And I'm going to use the Glass and Garden embossing folder. Love this one. We're going to do 2 pieces. Okay. So you're going to take, before I get too far, remember you have 2 of everything. Okay. I'm only making 1. So everything you hear me do, you're going to do it twice. Okay. So I'm going to take both of those 2, what was it? 2 1/4? 2 1/2, forgive me, 2 1/2 by 5 1/4. And you're going to run that through the embossing folder. Tip for you guys, this is a regular embossing folder. So I want to show you what the sandwich is for that, because it's a little bit different. You're going to use base plate 1. This is a thin die adapter. We don't need that one. We need our 2 cutting plates. So because this is a thin embossing folder, it's going to go through like that. Okay. Base plate 1 and 2 plate 3s. Okay. Just so you guys know, that's how that's going to work. And while I'm here, because I do need to run one through, and I have that one already done, but I'm going to grab my machine because we're going to do that same embossing here on the side. So bring my machine in here. And I got to tell you, this one's going to go through a little different. Okay. So I'm going to line that up. You can kind of see if you need to go ahead and give that a crease so you can see, so you can center that up. It kind of goes all the way off to the side. Now, typically, we always want to run our embossing folders seam side in. Well, for this one, you're going to have to go sideways, and that's okay. We do that from time to time. But for the most part, when you're using them, you want to use seam side in. Okay. Now, remember, you're going to do this on that pool party cardstock as well. All right. So we want to get this out of my way. And beautiful embossing. Okay. Let's bring in our bone folder. And by the way, with this folder, either side, I don't know which one. Do you guys have a preference? Which one you use? I think the deboss side is really, really pretty. But we are simply just going to accordion fold this. Okay. So you will have. Oh, wait, I think I did it wrong. Hold on just a second. Just a second. No, I was right. I just had it upside down. Okay, there we go. All right. We have that. Remember, I said you're going to also do this with that piece of basic white. I'm going to get a little heavy. I tend, with anything that's embossed, I go a little heavy on my adhesive, but that's for this center panel. Okay. So you're going to have something like this. Remember, you can make one card completely and then go do the second one, or you can make them both at the same time. Again, what's your preference? I like to know how you guys like to do things. I tend to make one and then make the other, but okay. I think it's time to do some die cutting. So I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're going to bring in our pieces here. Remember, these are the ones that I said you could use some scrap. And I have got the, oh, wait, I just dropped a die. Hold on. Where did you go? There it is. I hear you. I was like, that's not right. We're missing something. Okay, so we have the Impressions of Blooms. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to take both the detail die and the outline. We're going to put that right there. We're going to take this one. See if I can get this lined up. Looks like right there. Okay. And then we're going to take this one. We're going to put it right there. You're going to run that through your die cutting machine. You're going to rotate it and you're going to do it again. Okay. It's going to look like that. So you got all 6 of your flowers cut from that one piece of petunia puff. Okay.
I do have a quick question, Connie.
Sure.
Kathy wants to know, why not just fold the cardstock under the embossing folder and run it through with the seam the right way?
Good question. And I'm going to tell you why I personally don't do that, because it tends to kind of, do I want to say it kind of dings up your cardstock? It can leave creases because, oh, and the other reason, you know, we've done this and then we want to add 2 layers underneath it. It makes it really thick to go through your embossing folder. And yeah, it can just kind of like dent. That's the word I'm looking for. It can dent that cardstock as it's going through. And those 2 additional layers would make it way too thick. But that is an excellent question. Excellent question. Okay, so we've got our flowers done, right? Now let's do our leaves and our stem. We're going to take this big set of leaves and a straight stem. We're going to run that through, rotate it around. You're going to do it again over here, okay? And it's going to look, whoops, it's going to look like that. Okay, so I've got those pieces cut. And remember, we're doing 2 of everything. So now for our little piece of secret C. Here we go. There are 2 sets of these little flowers, okay, in sets of 3. So you're going to need 12 flowers altogether. So we're going to put 2. Luckily, we had 2 dies, so that's nice. We're going to take our circle and the little detail center. You guys give me a shout out if you have this die set. It has become my favorite, but then I love all the flowers. It's just kind of my thing. Okay, this little detail guy is so tiny. And I can't sometimes pick him up. Okay. Ooh, get in there. I am not worried if those are like perfectly centered in there, but we're going to run those through, but you're going to need extras of this little one. So you're going to do an extra, and then we're going to rotate this around, do that again, and another extra. Okay. So it's going to look something like this. Let me put something white behind it so you can see. So we got the 2 sets of flowers, another 2 set of flowers. We got 2 big ones and 4 small ones. All right. So that's what we did out of our secret C. Whoop. All right. I'm going to move these out of my way because I don't want to lose any dies. And now we're going to build our card. So we're going to bring in now that pool party that we had. And you might have your fresh freesia, you know, because remember, you're just mixing and matching. Okay, so we've made that into an accordion fold or a Z fold. I guess technically this is a Z fold. And I'm going to grab.
Hey, Connie.
Yeah.
Nancy said that she has this bundle and it's great. And I agree.
I know. It's truly one of my favorites. I'm loving it. Hey, just to shake things up, I think I'm going to use the other side of the designer series paper. I mean, I love the flowers, but I don't know, kind of like that. So this one is going to go right in the middle. That's easy. So your designer series paper is going to go right here. And now I'm going to grab my silicone mat to do some gluing because, you know, I'm not real neat when it comes to the Tombow.
Hey, Connie, while you're gluing,
yes,
Kathleen, I believe it's Duggan, she had a really great tip. She says she attached a magnet to a small dowel so that she can grab the small dies off of her magnetic sheet.
That's a good idea. You know, I wonder if I could like put a small magnet like on my take your pick tool and pick it up or something. That's a great idea. I'm gonna have to find something in my stamp room that would be, you know, great for magnet. Thank you. Excellent tip. I love that. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, those little guys, they're kind of tough. All right, so I'm going to put adhesive here on one set of leaves and one stem because right now I'm just making the one card. And you want to go kind of light with this glue because we don't want it to squish through if we can help it. But, you know, this is me, and I'm not always real neat with the glue. But now you see why I said, oh, I better use my silicone mat. Okay, we're going to take one of these. And it's going to go on one of our basic whites right at the bottom and right in the center. Okay. Now let's take this stem. Oh, it's so little. And I'm going to, goodness. Would your magnet pick up that? Maybe that's what I need. Okay. We're going to add this. Maybe give yourself about 3/4 of an inch off to that right side, and we're going to adhere that. Okay, I'm going to put that away because it's not my friend always. Okay, let's add some of our flowers. Oh no, I'm not done with my glue. I actually have a lot more to do. Let's add our little secret C centers here. All right, and this is another one really light with the glue, because we don't want it to seep through the little holes that are there. So we'll put the 2 small ones on the smaller flowers. Oh, secret C and petunia pop just gorgeous together. Love it. Okay. So now I'm going to bring in Stampin' Dimensionals. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and adhere these before I add my flowers. There's no right or wrong here. You know, if you want to go ahead and add everything before you put it on the Z fold, feel free. But sometimes I like to go ahead and get them in place before I do that. Okay. Now this one's kind of interesting because I'm going to use the leaves in a little bit different way. I'm going to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. And looks like about 3 should do it. And we're going to kind of cover up this top leaf here. So we're going to put that about right there. Now let's take the smallest one. Oh, my little secret C center said, hey, no, let's press you down. Okay. 1 Stampin' Dimensional. We'll do it on that one. And we're going to put that one about right there. This is why I don't like multi-purpose glue, because it gets all over me. Okay, now this one, it's going to be on the inside. So I'm going to use adhesive for that. And that's going to go right there. And here's where you're going to write a little tiny message. You could also write a message here, by the way, because, you know, I changed that out. While I've got this open, I've got a piece of petunia pop, and this is a 2 3/4 by 1. And we're going to go ahead and get our sentiment stamped on here. Okay, I'm going to kind of keep it up high. Make sure my card will close because it's the same length as that. Let's bring in, I've got a little piece. This is 3/4 by 2 3/4. I've got a secret C ink pad. I want you to use your favorite stamp set. For me, Simply Said is one of my favorites because it has a little bit of everything in there. You can use whatever sentiment you want. So what did I pick up? It's a thank you. We'll just stamp a little thank you right there in the middle. And we're going to add that to the petunia pop. So I think I'm just going to put my adhesive right there. Center that up from top and bottom. Ooh, I'm a little long on the side. Oops. Looks like I didn't cut it right. Let's see. We'll take a smidge off this side, but just a smidge. That happens, right? All right, we'll add that. There we go. That looks a little better. Okay, now all those little flowers, which I thought, you know, maybe I'm going to hate them, but no, I think I'm going to love them. I'm going to bring in my take your pick tool and my putty adapter here, because it's going to make it really easy to pick these up. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to add 3 flowers to this first panel. And so just the tiniest little drop of multi-purpose glue. And now we'll pick up a flower and drop it. And let's grab, I got to make sure these are face up. So we'll go one right there. And get this one face up. Is it face up? Hard to tell when my tabletop is black. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to add a few more around our greeting. 1, 2, not too much, 3. Okay. Let's get these flipped over. Ooh. All right. Nope, still not flipped over. There we go. All right. So we'll go 1, 2. Yep. And just a little bit of that glue likes to squeeze out. Now, because it likes to squeeze out, I'm not going to close this card up just yet. Okay. I'm going to kind of let that dry for a second. So where is my card base? Here we go. This is the one. Remember, we embossed that. We've got the embossed image there. So here is your trick. I'm going to do this. You can do this with grid paper. I'm going to bring in a ruler. So whatever works best for you. We're going to be adhering this to the front and to the back. So it'll make this Z. So I'm just going to kind of close it for just a second. And you want to make sure you're not going past 4 1/4, okay? Because we want it to fit in an envelope, right? So let's take that over to 4 1/4. Okay. Eyeball it there, okay? Let me scoot it up just a tiny bit. Doop, doop. Okay, I'm going to hold that in place. And I'm going to put adhesive here. And I'm going to bring that down. Okay. Now that that's secure, I'm not as worried about it. We're going to put adhesive here. Okay. And now I can see my card measures 4 1/4. I already know it's 5 1/2. So that is our card. And see exactly what happened that I didn't want to happen. My little flower fell off because I should have started with that. Okay. All right. Well, there is our card. Now it needs ribbon. And let me tell you, this Petunia Pop, is it Petunia Pop? And it's just shimmer. What did we call this? Iridescent. Love this ribbon. Okay. I'm going to share a little tip with you because this is my favorite tip. I'm going to grab a mini glue dot and I am going to put it wherever I want my bow to be. So about there. And I kind of am centering it up here from side to side. Let's take our ribbon. And this little mini glue dot is going to hold that ribbon in place for me while I tie it in a bow. So we're just going to tie it under. See the mini glue dot? We're going to pull this from side to side, not up and down. And we're going to press it down. Now, I do have the ability to move that around. Let's see if I can catch a little bit more of that mini glue dot. There we go. So that kind of holds it in place while I'm tying the bow. I'm telling you, best use of mini glue dots is that tip right there. Because I struggle with getting that ribbon to stay tight. So when we do that, it also is going to hold the bow in place so it's not moving around. Let's grab some scissors and we'll trim that away. And I need to share with you one other thing. Whoops, there we go. So there is the finished card. Now, remember, it's going to make 2. So you're going to have 2 of these. So I have a thank you and let's celebrate. Which paper do you guys like best? Christina, Brenda, let me know which ones they're liking best. I don't know. I kind of like this one. It's leaning on me, but I thought these flowers went really well with those dies. But I want to share one more. I guess I'm going to call it a tip or maybe just ask which you like best. When I created these cards, can you see the little notch that I punched out of that up at the top and the bottom? I did that with the whole assortment punch, and I thought, oh, that might be cute. And it, it kind of holds it in place. And then I went, I don't know if I'm crazy about it. What do you guys think? It was kind of one of those, it was a thought, but I think I prefer it without. I do love to add little notches to cards to create things like that. I don't know if that one necessarily worked for me. So I didn't include it in your supplies because I was really on the fence. So with that, you are now going to create your second card, right? So you guys know how that's going to go together. It's the exact same thing. Your sentiment, make it anything you want, leave it off altogether, and put a piece of white cardstock instead of the designer series paper for more places to write the message. So I want you guys to have fun with this layout because that's what this one is all about. I do want to share the cards we're going to make next week. We have got 2 fun cards. I'm really excited about these. These are kind of circle pop-out cards. And it doesn't look like it, but yes, they fit in a medium-sized envelope because they are 5.5 by 4 1/4. They actually are. This is some new designer series paper. So I wanted to make a card that might be good for the men and women too. We're going to be using the Spotlight on Nature dies. But that's our little, you see it just like pops through. And here I use the whole assortment. Can you see? I just did a couple little hole punches there for my linen thread. This one, it's another one. I think it'd be good for the men as well. Just a great thank you card. You are seriously the best. And we use the textured notes, I believe. Textured notes stamp set on that one. And why are we not popping through? Who knows? There we go. So this one, I made my own designer series paper. I stamped all over some crumb cake. So that is what we're going to be creating next week. I hope you guys will join me. Anything else, Christina?
I do have something. I want to shout out our wonderful members.
Let's do that.
And while I do that, do you want to maybe get the card that we'll be making on our next members only live and show them what that looks like?
I can do that. I think it's just over here on the other side. Yeah, I will go get that.
We love our Simply supporters. You guys are wonderful. Our Funfold friends, we adore you guys. You guys get all the diagrams and measurements for every single card that goes on the blog. And then we've got our Fancy Fold fanatics. They get the full written tutorial for every single card. They get the exclusive social hour before the happy hour that our Funfold friends get to join. We have so much fun on the lives, and we love getting to hang out with our members.
Yeah, and we've got something new and exciting coming up in October. We're going to have a craft night. We're just going to get together. I'm actually going to create the paper bouquet kit, that gorgeous paper bouquet. Crazy they named it that, right? Anyway,
weird.
I'm going to create it. If you have that kit, you can come and you can create that along with me. But if you don't have it, bring whatever you're working on. We're just going to spend a little time creating together. So I was excited to add that too. So
yeah, that'll be fun.
I found my card, so I'm going to switch this over. Christina, what is the second Tuesday in September?
September 9th, I believe.
September 9th. So this is the card. Now, during our membership lives, I like to do just the fun and fancy and crazy over the top cards. But remember, we make these together. We go nice and slow, and everyone's creating at the same time. It's not a speed competition. But this card, let me share with you what we have. Oh my goodness, there's so many pop-outs going on there. I'm going to have diagrams to make it easy for you to create. Isn't that so cool? Oh, hey guys, this wildly flowering paper is some of my favorites, and it's on the last chance list. Oh, guys, get it now. It might even be gone. I'm not sure. But anyway, look at that sweet little grateful for you. You make my heart smile. We've got this fun little what do I want to call it? It's a little fun pop out right there. Love this. So grateful for you. And then it's going to tie. And then here's one, a little kindness makes a big difference. And this one, I didn't use designer series paper. I did a whole bunch of stamping on it. So yeah, even if you don't have the designer series paper, you can still create right along with us. Isn't that fun? So yeah, that's what we're going to be making on September 9th. So if you go to my channel, you're going to see a subscribe button, or if you're already subscribed, but right next to it is a join button. And if you click that, you can read all about the YouTube membership. Okay. Check it out. Why not give it a try? You can cancel anytime. And then when you join, you get to be a part of the over-the-top amazing fun fold and have a great craft night as we craft together. And of course, then in October, right? Or is it September? Oh, somebody help me. I think it's like September. Ooh, I can't remember the date that we're going to create the paper bouquet, or you can just come with your crafting project and create along with us. So, all right, friends, thank you so much for being here and creating these 2-for-1 cards. Don't forget to get the free download. You can find it over at simplysimplestamping.com here in just a few minutes. The post will go live at 11:45 Central Time. So here in just a few minutes, and you can grab the free download. Brenda's already shared here in the live. You'll be able to see the link to the free download. V says social hour and happy hour are simply spectacular. V, I love you so much. That is so sweet. Yeah, she's been a member since the beginning. NJ Card Maker. Oh, she loves the Mickey earrings. NJ, I love you. And yeah, I'm a Mickey fan for sure. Maria, who's also a member, she said, that's a great fun fold. Yeah, I know everyone's going to be really excited to create that one this next month. And yeah, and let me tell you, I put a lot of time into finding what is the most effective way to create these kinds of fun folds. I try to find all the little tips and tricks to make it simple. That's one of my favorite things about doing that one. So yeah, I hope you guys will consider joining me for that. And and there's also some really fun emojis that come with it. NJ told me that her daughter Gabby noticed the earrings. Love you, Gabby. Love you, girl. Well, friends, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Christina, Brenda, thank you so much for being here and helping me because you guys know I'm lousy at trying to stamp and talk and read comments at the same time. That's when I do something silly like I cut instead of score. So I always appreciate that they are here with me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I look forward to stamping with you guys next week. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.